Warning, this podcast contains creepy guys that jump out at from under mattresses. I'm gonna have to check all the beds in hotels for creepy men in my mattress.
Okay.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for American Horror Story Hotel, episode 3, Mommy. I'm your host, Dom. With me, my co-host, Nikki.
Hi.
And my co-host, Rachel.
Hello.
How's it going, ladies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
So, what did you think of this episode? See, for me, I didn't like the first 2 episodes. Now it's starting to pick up for me.
I don't know. This episode was just weird.
I expected more from Angela Bassett when she took Donovan. Like, oh, you got dumped, oh, fuck you then. Go off back on the streets. I don't care if you get, high off junkie blood.
Wasn't her way in. Yeah, no use anymore.
I guess. I don't know. I'm really liking Tristan's character. Really liking that character. I mean, now that he's turned into this vampire creature thing, I don't know if we could call them vampires. Because they're not.
Not really, no.
They have immortality. They keep their immortality and their sustenance by drinking blood. They just don't bite. They slice and drink.
They don't bite. And I'm pretty sure they said they could walk in the sun.
Mm-hmm.
They can, but it's unpleasant.
Pleasant.
Yeah. I guess. For all intents and purposes, we'll continue to call them vampires.
But they can die.
They called themselves vampires.
Did they?
It was dropped last episode. She
Okay.
called them vampires.
Okay.
The Countess.
All right. But now that Tristan is Tristan. I keep wanting to put an extra R in there. Now that Tristan has become a vampire, he's kind of taken a liking to killing.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's no different than his last character.
No, it is definitely not. It's very in line with Dandy from Freak Show.
You get away with it in Freak Show. You get away with it now. So
you can get away with a little more here, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
I have a feeling there's gonna be consequences.
Yeah, he really admires James March so much that he barges up into his room, calls out for him, doesn't show up until he starts rattling off everything that he's ever done. Then James shows up and he's like, "How do you know all this about me?" He's like, "I Googled you."
That sounds obscene.
I saw that in the preview last week, and I was like, that is the best line I've ever heard.
It is. And I love all the pop culture reference that they do in here, because they take things and they twist them. But it's not that they twist them into being anything that it's not on anybody else's mind, but it's bringing it more into the light that you don't expect. And it's not just the Google thing here, because we got one later on with the Ten Commandments. We'll get into that, but this one I love the whole take on it. It's just that's obscene, because how many times do you say, "Oh, I Googled this person," and it's just you did what?
You did what to that person?
We're just so accustomed to it, but picture somebody who's legit on the outside of it, doesn't know it, and you did what?
You what?
You what?
I mean, it kind of sounds like
you
oogled them.
Googled somebody?
Yeah, it sounds like you're oogling, So
yeah,
Googling makes it even seem worse than that.
It just it started a big mess. I wish they had more of the maid, because she cracks me up.
Yeah.
They want to tear. Where am I going to wash the linens?
Where am I going to launder the linens? Yeah. She's great. I love the maid. I love James Patrick March. Right? Is Patrick his middle name?
Yep.
JPM. And I found out it was more so I looked into it when he started referring to the place as the Murder Castle, that he's actually based off of
Murder Palace.
Murder Palace of serial killer named H.H. Holmes. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting to see that he's rooted somewhere in.
Well, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
They had to get it from somewhere.
Yep. So, then meanwhile, we cut back to Alex Lowe, who has we get to see the child patient again with the measles.
I hate this moment.
Yeah, but we were talking about this last week, and we're like, oh, this seems like a one-off incident, and it's not. Here it is. We're back again.
Well, not so much one. Like he doesn't have anything to do with. It's kind of making her.
It's just called character development for the mom.
Yeah, for the mom.
Doctor.
It's more of a, an in for the mom.
Yeah, because she did kind of have like her monologue where she's like, mm-hmm. Well, I wanted to. This was my dream, was to,
I didn't want to have kids.
Exactly.
I wanted to help kids and.
Yeah, I mean, she had she had a whole troubled childhood. She devoted her life to helping, children, and mm-hmm. It's like every character that we've met kind of has this crazy obsession. Like John's got the obsession with his casework and what happened to Holden, and all these things. We have Tristan, who's obsessed with drugs and alcohol. We have James Patrick March, who's got, the murders. He's obsessed with his whole murder castle. All these characters have these crazy obsessions. And we find out really in this one that Holden is her obsession. And how much, it affected her to the point where she even slit her wrists when he first went missing, And
as a doctor, she did it right.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be floated over, because that's just a grim thing.
It is. It's very grim, but this whole show is grim.
It kind of shows her she's just as fucked up as everyone else.
Yep.
She doesn't have everything together like she is portraying.
Yeah, but then, when she's talking to that mom, and why didn't you call me sooner? Oh, because you guilted me, last time. She's just
being terrible.
I would have slapped that mom. I'm sorry.
I would have too. But see, that still brings me to, I think this kid is going to end up being a vampire. I think it's going to join the whole house, because we have Alex now, who's we found out how dedicated she is to helping children, right? She's not going to give up on this kid. This, the kid was sent to the hospital.
Into a vampire is not going to mean giving up to him. I don't think he's going to be a vampire.
But we also see her now in the she's in the hotel. She goes to meet John up in his room later, to give the divorce papers, to sign the papers, and on her way out, she meets Holden.
Yeah,
okay,
but
before she meets Holden,
you skipped over the most retarded line that any man could ever.
I wanted to punch him in the face. I'm like, you had her. She was ready to rip her freaking clothes off until you said that. You dumbass.
Like, are you? What the hell, dude? What were you thinking?
What was the line again?
Let's have another baby.
I can't even say I didn't see anything wrong with that. Yeah, no, because it is wrong.
You're fucking nuts. She's
I was gonna try to stir the pot, but I couldn't even bring myself to stir the pot on that one.
She's handing you divorce papers, dipshit.
Yeah.
Because of Holden, a child she lost because she blames you, and then you're asking her for another baby.
She's even telling you that she doesn't. I mean, she loves Scarlett, but just she doesn't love her like she did Holden. She doesn't love her as much, and
she admitted not loving John as much as Holden. She's in her monologue. She said she didn't really have the same connection with Scarlett as she did Holden, but she never admitted that out loud.
No.
Yeah. Eduardo in chat says, the room where the kids play Atari and eat jelly beans is the best thing ever. I wouldn't mind living there forever. It needs a nice computer though, in addition to the consoles. But yes, I agree. It's awesome room. But that's why I really feel, because she's grown so attached to Holden and fixing children, all this stuff, and she's gonna take that obsession over to her patients. And this child, is one of her patients. The child was taken to the hospital. And when everything is done there that can be done, and that child is not going to pull through, now that she's got Holden in front of her, you cannot tell me she's not going to try to, like, analyze Holden, because she's a doctor. Why does Holden still look the same? She's going to try to figure all this stuff out.
Well, so, yeah, but I don't think she's going to do anything with the other kid.
I don't see her just leaving that kid to die.
I don't think he's going to die.
No, I think something's going to happen to Scarlett, and she's going to have to do something that way. She's going to have to use Holden, analyze him, as you said, and fix Scarlett instead of that child.
I can see that.
I don't know. I feel like she's going to realize, I can keep these children as children forever and take care of them forever. No. And she's going to turn into this weird, like, vampire baby mother.
Yeah, I think you're putting too much emphasis on this kid, personally.
I don't know. You guys read him off as a one-off character, and he's showing up again. So I don't think his story's done. I don't. Because they would have just handled it all at once if he was a one-off character.
I don't think he's going to be turned into a vampire.
Nope.
All right, we'll see. But yeah, you're talking about Scarlett. Scarlett sat down with her parents, and or was it just the mother? Was that a shrink that she was with? Or was
yeah,
it
they were a family therapist.
It was John, and it was Scarlett, and it was Alex. They were all there, and she's like, "You're hurting me, Scarlett. It's all your fault, Scarlett."
Yeah.
It's like, seriously.
Put a lot of pressure on that kid.
Yeah, and then when she said, he smelled like lavender, then mom was like...
Yeah, and then she's like, he didn't have normal feelings. It's like, what? That's just really weird.
I don't know. I really wanted to pop Alex in the chin with my fist a few times for this episode.
Yeah. So, Alex is clearly not rational, but, she did lose her favorite child, and... she's not exactly thinking straight. And then, like I said, the end of the episode, she sees Holden again. So now everything that Scarlett said, she's going to instantly no longer dismiss, and she's going to sit down and try to get close to Holden. And
if I had to guess, she'll get close to Holden, but I think she'll want to become a vampire herself so she can stay with him.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Forever.
I kind of see it going back to like season 1, where Murder House, where the family ends up all dead together and they get to live together forever in the house. That's kind of how I see it. And if that's gonna happen, if Alex is gonna die in the house and Tristan, then John's gonna want to join them.
I don't think he's
whether they want John to join him or not, whether they're gonna want to be with him, John's gonna want to be.
Yeah, so. I don't know. I don't see that. I mean, it could happen, but I don't see it happening.
I mean...
I think there's something else planned for him.
Would they reuse that plot device?
This plot device... This season very much mirrors season 1 quite a lot, so it's not out of the question.
Yeah, we did get confirmation that Sally's not a vampire. She's some sort of ghost, and she is stuck there.
She has unfinished business.
Yeah, because they were talking about that with the whole Donovan
Her and Iris.
Thing. Yeah, we had the whole Donovan thing. Donovan gets in a fight with his mom, and...
Why does he hate her so much? God,
she's so clingy.
I know that, but there has to be something. I mean, he blames her for everything, but there just has to be something, because everything she's done, it's not... I mean, a normal kid would probably be pissed off at her mom, but he just has this primal hate for her.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck happened?
I mean, he went off on this crazy... tangent, whatever, really upset his mom. So Iris is like, I don't have a reason to live anymore. So she goes to Sally for help. And Sally's like, why do you want to die? And she goes, it's not that I want to die. I don't want to live. And Sally's she goes, we need to make sure, I need to make sure that you don't have any unfinished business, because I don't want you hanging around here.
Yeah. So, I don't want to see you anymore.
Yeah. So
I'm done with you.
That really kind of confirmed everything about this. So this is more or less just like Murder House all over again. And as Eduardo says, the real estate agent from Murder House was in the first episode of Hotel.
Yeah.
So, it's just even more connections. So,
yeah.
So Sally tries to help out Iris, which really, really ironic, because Iris is the one that killed Sally.
Mm-hmm.
And Sally's just like, I could push you out the window, and we could be even. But, Iris doesn't want to do that. She wants to take drugs. She took enough to... But Sally said, it was enough to take out a whole...
Marching band.
Marching band.
But that also goes to show that Iris wasn't dead. She was alive. She's alive. So she could leave. She wasn't, a ghost or anything like that.
Right. But the drugs didn't exactly work.
Nope.
So the next best thing was to suffocate her. Put the bag over her head, tie a belt around her neck. Seemed like a good plan. Until Donovan comes strolling in.
Strolling.
I don't know if that was
breaking down. I was going to say.
It's more like a frustrated stomp.
Yeah. But, upon seeing his mother dying, he's just like, have my blood.
Yeah, she was dead.
Yeah, he instantly just kind of changed his mind. I don't know if she was completely dead. Like, I don't know how the blood works. Like, can it resuscitate someone that's already dead, or was she just really close to death?
She was really close, because I don't think it actually works that way. I think you just consume the blood, and that happens. Because, like, you saw how, what's her name? Angela Bassett's character turned her rapper buddy. Yeah. All she did was get him to drink her blood out of her tit.
Yeah.
That's it. And he was apparently turned at that point. So.
Yeah, Ramona.
You know.
And then right when he did that, Sally's like, no, don't do that. She's like, oh.
Yeah, because Sally doesn't want her sticking around.
Well, that too, but, look what happened when Ramona tried to turn someone.
Ramona said that she's like, she only wants there to be one queen.
One queen.
Yeah, because, so we meet Ramona here,
doesn't want
she was
her
this
creations creating.
She was this former love of the Countess. She was a B-movie star in the 70s.
Oh my gosh, the flashbacks to the 70s and 80s and stuff were amazing.
Yeah, it was great. And just like seeing, how she was like this love toy of Lady Gaga or the Countess or whatever.
Very Foxy Brown.
Yeah, and we saw, like you guys said, when she turned the rapper, she started loving, she fell in love with this rapper. She turned and wanted to be with him. Lady Gaga just straight up murdered him, cold blood, right in front of her. And was like, nope. So Ramona is just like, yeah, well, she can't stand, when her creations leave her, which now kind of explains more of the Countess's character, where she leaves everybody first,
Yeah, and it's not what she says. She doesn't like her creations creating.
Yeah.
So she wants to be the only queen. She wants to be the queen bee. She wants to be the one creating them. She doesn't want them creating.
Right.
Also, I kind of was reminded of her one rule is like, don't fall in love. And
except
Ramona did.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yep. But we know that Lady Gaga has got some plans of her own. This episode when we see Tristan trying to seduce
Mr. Will Drake.
Mr. Will Drake. Yeah, and murder him. And she's like, nope.
She was like, Lady Gaga said, no.
Nope.
She was like, cut it out. You ain't doing that.
She didn't even need a poker face on that one.
No.
Not at all.
That was just a bitch face.
Yeah. And Tristan was coming on to him because Drake, William Drake is gay. He's just like, I'm not into women. And Lady Gaga's like, well,
you're hard.
You're hard.
Well, the way she was coming on to him.
Well, and plus, she has that charisma, that vampire stare.
We don't know exactly what that is, like, because we know
like an alluring kind of feeling.
Yeah, we know in like the Vampire Diaries they have compulsion, where they have mind control. We know in True Blood they have glamoring, which I don't exactly. Nikki would probably be able to explain.
It's basically the same thing as compulsion.
Yeah.
But like in this case, it's more of like a traditional vampire where they have just an alluring vibe about them, where they just seem like they
look at you and you're like,
you're either intimidated and you run, or you're just head over heels. Just want to be with.
Kind of like a succubus.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. But I do love her story, her background when she was talking to Tristan about why she wants to keep him alive. And then when she mentioned Bernie Madoff, I just started laughing so hard.
Yeah. I mean,
I was just like, oh, okay, now I understand why you have no money.
yeah. She's been doing the Black Widow challenge from The Sims, right, Nikki?
Sure.
You've been doing that challenge lately, right?
Not recently.
No.
I was getting a little crazy.
Yeah, but basically she's marrying all these she's not falling in love, but she's marrying all these rich guys, making them her husband, and then killing them off so she gets all the money. It's a genius plan, and that's currently her plan with Drake. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
not Drake the rapper, but
she could. You know what? She could do that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Take him, Lady Gaga. Take him.
Nobody will miss him. We promise.
I'm gonna get so much hate mail for that.
Just send all the angry tweets about us hating Drake to Lady Venom 24 over there. She wants them all. Yeah. We also had our gruesome death of Claudia, aka rest in peace Naomi Campbell.
Well, I think she's gonna be around here and there.
Oh yeah.
Well, she has unfinished business, so
of course.
But yeah, as soon as she was like as soon as she walked into the room, I was like, bye. Bye, Naomi.
Man.
Yeah. She just lays down on the bed, and then Gabriel rips out, from underneath the mattress, grabs her, starts stabbing her from inside the mattress. I completely forgot about Gabriel. He was, 2 episodes ago? Sally, locked him in there.
She sewed him up.
Yeah.
So he's not dead, like we thought.
Nope. Yeah, no, he's just a junkie. She was tied up in the mattress. He didn't mean to kill Claudia. He thought it was Sally.
Yeah.
So I guess he doesn't know that Sally's dead.
Sally's given him a tough love treatment and trying to clear him of the drugs, it seems, because he's going through withdrawals, not an OD.
Right.
She told me I would be free. She lied.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, he starts fleeing out. He's in the lobby, flailing around, and that's when John finds him. John's just completely taken aback, because he just came back from this horrible site at a gossip journalist department.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was an apartment. It was their office.
Yeah. It was their, whatever. It's a place.
Yeah.
They were there.
Their place of business. And they're dead.
Their tongues were nailed to the desk. We saw one guy bit through his tongue to get free.
I know, right?
That's awful. But, it's one of those 10 commandments, thou shalt not bear false witnesses. So then they start researching, trying to find out if there were previous commandments that were tied to unsolved murders.
Yeah.
So
we didn't see anything of that.
No, not yet. Mm-hmm. But, that got into, Alex came to visit John, and that's when all that, and she's like, no wonder why you have trouble sleeping at night. And, then serves him the divorce papers then. But it was just like...
heartless.
Yeah. It's crazy. But John's story right now is definitely my favorite story in the hotel.
Can we talk about the you factor with him and Sally?
Yes.
I was like, yeah.
I mean, he tries to confront her, but she flirt evades him.
Flirt evades.
And he's obviously desperate and just confused.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that flesh monster guy is just starting to really creep me out. Every time he flashes up everywhere, I'm like, seriously.
Yeah, I want to know more about him. He's just creeping in from nowhere.
He's
and
he only really shows up when Sally's around.
Yeah. Yep.
So does he have a connection? Is he her unfinished business?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he kind of has a needle dick that's large. And it goes into flesh.
Yep. Eduardo mentioned about Naomi Campbell. Says Miss Campbell still has a very sweet body for her age. Just saying. So I will not disagree with you there, Eduardo.
Mm-mm.
I do like her fashion comment she made to Alex. That was pretty funny. Is this hell? No, it's not, because if it was, I'd be wearing that knockoff.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh, that's so Naomi.
So I guess besides John's story, the one that interests me most is, the whole James Patrick March story. But I think the thing we have not seen enough of that, and it's about time for some more in that. But I don't necessarily know if we're gonna get that next week, but it should be coming up soon. But what I really am more curious about than anything right now, this episode, is how the blood is gonna affect Iris. Like, what's it gonna do? Like,
what's she gonna think when she wakes up?
What's she gonna look like?
Mm-hmm. Well, because when
what if she wakes up and she's Jessica Lange?
No, just only unfortunately. Well, it does something with them inside because of what happened to Tristan. So.
Eduardo says Drildo is called the addiction demon by the producers.
I'm calling him Dildo because it's easier to say, rolls off the tongue better.
Yeah. No, I'm really curious though what Iris is going to end up looking like, because they do a really good job of making some of the older actors look young. Because I know some flashbacks they had for Jessica Lange, like there was no wrinkles on her face at all. Like they did a really good job with that kind of stuff. So I wonder if they're going to try to pretty up Iris's face a bit, with taking some of the wrinkles and indentations and stuff like that out of it to give her that more pristine vampire type look. That we saw that they did with Tristan this episode, when Drake was like, what happened to the scar? Like, what did they do?
When you cut your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely heals things. So I wonder if it, repairs some.
Well, it did repair his face. It repaired his face a little bit because he was looking, a little like an addict.
Yeah.
So it does repair them.
Yeah. You ladies have anything else for this episode?
I'm curious what Alex is going to do now that she knows.
Yeah.
He's not alive, but
now
he knows who she is. So
now that they're into this season a little bit, they're gonna have to. I think they're gonna have to step back from taking on so many characters at once, and they're gonna have to focus on 1 or 2 storylines rather than 5.
Yeah.
Because I think there's so much going on right now. I think that's what they did wrong with Freak Show, was that they took on way too much at the same time.
Yeah, there's just too many at once.
I mean, next week we're going to be 4 episodes in. We're going to be at the 1/3 mark through the series.
Mm-hmm.
So we are a third of the way through. That's kind of crazy.
Real reason I'm interested about the Alex and the Holden thing is because now Ramona is going after her babies.
Yeah.
And so Holden is one of her babies. So
Eduardo doesn't like Tristan's makeup, aka, as Eduardo refers to him, Rufio. It's too obvious and looks like a porcelain child.
Don't you ruin my childhood, Eduardo. Don't you even.
Bangarang, Eduardo, bangarang.
Shit.
So, yeah. Next week, the episode is called Devil's Night. John receives an invitation to attend an exclusive Devil's Night soiree. And Alex tries to diagnose Holden's strange condition. So, there we go. Confirmation. That's exactly what she's going to be doing.
I hope this is as good as Freak Show's Halloween episode.
Yeah. Because, I mean, Scarlett very much noticed Holden is still the same age. So, there's no way that the mother's just going to let that go.
No.
So I knew she's going to have to do something with that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, yep. I think that about does it. Nikki, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyYvenom24.
Rachel, where can the people find you?
They can find me at Savannah17, which is over there. Right there somewhere. Well, it's backwards. So
Cheers.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. You can also find all of us and more on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, excuse me, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows. Till next week, let's have another baby.
Let's not.
Let's not. God, that was the stupidest comment.
I don't even have words for this.
He was. I don't know what he was thinking.
He was thinking, let's have another baby.
He should have been just thinking, let's get it on.
You should have.
Mm-hmm.